We're ready. We're going. So get ready, Steve. The beginning is now. Hey guys, it's me. It's Shannon and the bunnies for yet another just, festively filled episode of Sheepless Needles. Let's do the disclaimer. I'm Shannon. I'm a little bit of a train wreck and I do use profanity. Kids in the room, give them some, I don't know, you've been warned. Bunnies. I'm hitting my desk. Bunnies are behind here. We have 3 bunnies. Back here, we have Orwell, who is eating something. And then we have his brother Harvey in the tube. And then we have Nano also in the tube. Harvey has head tilt. He's fine. Both Orwell and Harvey are basically blind. So there's a little, you'll see. And Nano is just also geriatric as well. And I will say, it has been pitalocalypse in this house. These 3 just pee and they pee and they pee and they pee. Sometimes it's in the litter box. Sometimes it's not. If you have bunnies, just so you know, when they become senior, litter box habits aren't what they used to be. And that's okay. You just plan for it. So I put whelping pads down or doggy pee pads down, and we have vinyl flooring underneath that. That way they have a cushion and they have traction and they can get around. And then if they just need to pee, they can pee. Okay, so then over in the stack area, I don't know that you can actually see Harriet, but she's right there. She's black and white. She's a little Dutchy. That's Mama Harriet. This is her son Lebo, who is kind of tucked in. You can't really see him. He's gray and white. And then this is One Ear, who has 1 ear. Those are the bunnies. Everybody's fine. We used to run a rescue. These are the 6 sanctuary rabbits that we have left that we will take care of in perpetuity. That's what it is. Also have 2 cats. And nobody's down here with me. So there's that. Okay, disclaimer done. This is Sheepless Needles, man. It's a vegan podcast that's not about being vegan, where we just get into all sorts of stuff. Knitting, gaming, animals, reading. I don't know, addictions to Kickstarter. You know who I'm talking to. I see you. You and me. We got to back away. Yes, I know everybody else has backed that project. Doesn't mean I need to. Okay, so anyway, I don't know what episode we're on. It doesn't matter. No, not really. So let's just do this. This is the other thing. Go grab yourself something to work on. Maybe you're doing a crossword. Maybe you're working on a festive sweater. Maybe you are, I don't know, knitting a pink uterus because you want to say F you. Yeah. I'm just saying, my fallopian tubes are ready to pop out and deck somebody. Okay, I haven't even started drinking yet, so you better get ready because this is going to be on fire. Ooh, sorry, Mr. Editor, for the level on that, because I bet it was a little out of control. Today, we are going to be drinking, there's a really bad glare. This is Rheingeist. Okay, Rheingeist is a local brewery to Cincinnati, and Cincinnati is not that far from me. I mean, like a hop, skip, and a jump. So they do all sorts of beers, but then they did a series of, they just call them beverages because they can't really call them ciders, but this is bubbles, and it is so stinking good, you guys. So stinking good. I can't even tell you. And I'm going to give you a little bit how to do this with the mic. Oh, criminy. I do not like this setup. We're going to discuss the setup. Oh, told you, train wreck. Look, it's like a nice rosé wine. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm allergic to grapes, right? So I can't drink wine, which kind of sucks because I used to be able to. And sometimes I'm a beer girl, like through and through. Like I I think if you've ever watched this podcast, you know I'm a beer girl. But, you know, occasionally when you're out to dinner with people and everybody's drinking wine and you're like, and I'll have a beer. Like, you just don't, you want something that you can, that kind of mimics wine. And I'm off camera. I have got to get this setup fixed. So that's what this is. Let me take a swig. Oh my God. So cool and so refreshing and so good. And I don't have, you all been warned. I only have one contact in, so I don't know what's going to go down. Holy Jesus, I can't read this. I think it's 5%. I think it's only 5%. Maybe I'll drink like 2 more and I'll be able to read the label. I don't know. Crazier things have happened. I'm just saying. Let's just take a moment. Look at my eyeshadow. I just look at it. I don't know if you can see it really well, but I'm just saying, do you notice anything? Do you notice that my eyeshadow is like candy corns? Shannon, why would your eyeshadow be like candy corns? Like what would that be about? Well, kind viewer, since you know, you probably didn't notice that it's like May, right? And what am I wearing? You guys, it's my Halloween sweater. All right, this is gonna be a disaster. Try to get, okay, here it is. I love it. Okay, so couple here, let us start at the beginning. Gotta start somewhere. Isn't that from Sound of Music? Let's start at the very beginning. A very nice, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, this is the pattern. Let's boogie. Gonna have to have Steve put up who wrote this because now I don't remember. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm lying. Katie Francesci, yarnlovers.com. Wonderful Halloween yoke sweater. DK weight yarn is needed for this. I chose my favorite like budget yarn, which is Premier, their anti-pilling DK. I love it. Do I have any of it to show you? No, I don't even have a label to show you because why? Because I'm unprepared. So maybe I'll have Steve either put a picture up or just, you know, commit this to your noggin. Premier Yarns, anti-pilling line, their DK. Now, I have, I believe, 4 colors. Yes, I can count. There is the oatmeal, that is the body of the sweater. Then there is obviously the orange, and then there's like a harvest gold, and then there's the black. Okay, so let's, you know, as you've been watching, you probably see all the puckering and whatnot. I give 2 0 nothings about that at this point because here's the deal. This is my very first sweater, you guys, my very first sweater. And I chose a colorwork sweater. Yes, I did. I'm just saying, I'm going to go boldly wherever I go. And it may not go well, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in blasting. That's what's going to happen. So here are my notes and on this pattern. It's a great pattern, you guys. It was so much fun. Obviously, I have a lot of tension issues. Like as I'm looking, sorry, I'm staring at the monitor. There's a lot of tension issues in the yoke. And this, I can't even remember when I cast this on. So I'll have Steve put the cast on date. I like basically finished the yoke and then set it down and walked away and just did all sorts of other stuff, right? As we do. And in the interim of setting it down and picking it back up, I had actually been practicing color work. And you can tell the difference when you see the sleeves. This sleeve, you can see right here, this band is a little tighter because my little stressed out hands were still pulling stitches when I shouldn't have been. And then by the time I picked it back up, I started on this arm and you can see the complete difference. Like there's no puckering on this band, right? So I feel like, one, this sweater is evidence of improvement as you go through it. And, you know, this is the sleeve I did last, and this is the sleeve that I did first. Oh, off camera. Sorry, Vanna White, I am not. I feel like my color work will get better with the more projects that I do. So if you're someone who is like scared to do color work, don't be, because, you know, this is really atrocious knitting of color work, and it doesn't look half bad to me. And you know what? Even if it looks bad, I don't really care. This sweater makes me friggin' smile. I think these ghosts and their little pink cheeks are so friggin' cute. And I don't know if the pink cheeks are picking up on camera or not. I don't think you can really see them, but they have little pink cheeks. And you guys, I love them. And I love this sweater. And it is like only 50 today. And this is perfect for me because I'm always cold. So couldn't come at a better time, right? So in terms of the pattern notes, the only thing I will say about this that I wish I could figure out, and maybe down the line I will figure this out, is that because I'm flat chested, let me back up so you can see this. I stand up. Okay. First of all, I'm wearing a really horrid t-shirt underneath this, so it's lost its shape. But there's like, it's just here, right? So if you had boobs, you know, it kind of would come out a little bit and suck the body that went out this way. So really, I probably should have done some decreases, but what I couldn't figure out was within the pattern, the repeat of these eyelets, I couldn't get the right number. I didn't know how to do that and not mess up the grid. And I know I can figure it out eventually, but math, and guys, life is short. Just wear the baggy sweater. So there's that. And then the sleeves, because the sleeves, which I like when I push them up because I think it's super cute. What you can't tell, let me see if I can. The decreases are all right here. This is where you decrease, and that's the only place you decrease on the sleeve. And oh my God, it's like, whoop, boom. Like, I mean, I would have preferred maybe to decrease gradually. But I do like what that causes is that you can just push it up and it stays because that decrease line is there. So body and sleeve decreases would be my only point of contention. But I do kind of feel like if you have a chest like a normal person, it probably won't bother you. And again, sleeves, that is such a personal preference on how, if you like bell-shaped sleeves or bishop sleeves or whatever, you know, whatever you like. Really well written, really well. It's easy to understand. And I really think you could take, like, once you understand the body of this, I think you could take any yoke and do that. So that if you're somebody who is like, yeah, I don't want to sit there and do stockinette in the round, like knit with nothing else going on, you could take the body with the eyelet patterns on this and apply it to any yoke sweater easily. Now, I would say there's more than one mistake in this, but it doesn't matter. It's my first sweater. The one thing I got so excited about, and I couldn't believe I did it, is if you notice, okay. Yeah. All right, right here, there's the chevron underneath the band, and that same chevron is right on the sleeve too. There's supposed to be one other band of chevron, and I forgot about it. And I couldn't figure out why the sweater was like a half an inch shorter than it was supposed to be, because my dumbass didn't put the chevron row in above the hem band. I can't get in the right place. So there's supposed to be a band with this chevron down here, which would have hidden the pickup of the orange yarn. So if you get up real close to this, you can see where I picked up the orange yarn in that eyelet, right? That would not have been there if I had knitted the chevron row. But I skipped that in the pattern because I don't read through things thoroughly. So this is my festive Halloween sweater in May. Boo to ya. And my matching eyeshadow. Okay. Woo, that was a mouthful. So, the last time we were together, oh, good God, where to go with this? There, you should see the line of crap on my desk. I was working on the Petra Breakstone. I am blocking the bunnies the way I'm sitting. Sorry. I know some of you just want to watch bunnies, so there we go. Is that better? Okay. I was working on the Petra Breakstone soft tee, and I kind of put it down to finish the sweater and then work on something else. But let me just show you where I am on the soft tee. I'm almost ready to bind off the front panel, like the collar and the shoulders, and then flip it and work on the back. And then you seam the shoulders together, and I'm not adding sleeves, so hold the line. Okay. All right. This is a very weird angle to do things in. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I don't know if you can... That's where I'm at. I mean, it's not looking like much because it doesn't show well the way I'm showing it. Shocking. But it's got a really cute, that's going, just so we're clear, this tee is right in my bubbles. It's got a really cute lace panel that runs in the front, and then it runs, I'm not even going to turn that around because it's a big mess. So there's like a really easy lace repeat that runs in the center of the front and the center of the back of the tee. It's super easy to memorize. It's, knitting and then the lace break. I really have enjoyed it. I'm using a linen yarn that I bought a kit for. No complaints. The only thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this. Okay. If you write a pattern that you are going to put online and people are going to view it as a PDF, hold the line. If you have a pattern repeat that is more than one row, meaning like, let's say it's a 6-row repeat, right? Where there's a design that you carry through, you have to knit 6 rows, and then you just keep repeating those 6 rows. My recommendation to pattern writers is please do not put line 1 of the pattern repeat on one page, and then on page 2 doesn't say continued, and it just gives you the rest of the pattern. No row numbers, whatever. Can we put the repeat all in one section? Now, it could be my PDF reader, but the lace repeat in the soft tee, line 1 is at the bottom of a page, and then the rest of the repeat is at the top of the following page, which wouldn't have been a problem had I realized that. And I only messed up once, and it was on the second repeat. So way down by the waistline, where I completely missed line 1 of the repeat. And I don't think I would have done that if the entire repeat was together. It is user error. It is not, let's be real, but I'm also going to say, if you're a pattern writer, I would rather have a blank spot at the bottom of a page than have the repeat split between 2. And maybe that's just me being fussy and stupid. I don't know. Where do you weigh in on that? You let me know. So if you're going to knit this, just keep that in mind that row 1 of the lace repeat is at the bottom of a page. Just saying. Okay, so I think I only did like maybe, I'm going to say maybe 2.5 inches of that in the 2 weeks since I last saw you. So there's not a lot of progress on that. The other thing I picked up is my, let me see if I can find the front page for you because I don't remember the name. Okay, it is, I'm trying to block out the pattern. Okay, this is probably really stupid, but it's the Painting Honeycombs sweater by Mr. Stephen West. I'm loving this, just so we're clear. All right, let's get this mess out. Now, on this sweater, I am again, for the body of the sweater, using Premier Basic Anti-Pilling Decay. Okay, I'm trying not to knock this off the needle. So, okay, so obviously it's a yoke sweater, right? And you're looking at the front and then, whoa, there's your back. And you can see my needles tucked up in there. Ooh, this is blowing out. I'm really sorry. Okay, so basically for the yoke, I used, for those colors in the little bricks part, I used Knit Picks Comfy, which is it a sport weight? Oh, I don't know. Go look it up. It's a great yarn. It is. And I think, is it a, oh my God, I'm a disaster. I think it's cotton acrylic blend, but I might be totally wrong. You know, look at the show notes, guys. I can't be everywhere at all times and everything to everybody. What I can do is tell you I'm human and I make mistakes and I like this beverage, whatever. Okay, so anyway, the last time you saw this bad boy, I was just finishing the yoke. So since I've started back, I separated for the sleeves, and then I'm just working on the body and that knitting. So, you know, James Spader and I will be back together, and that's fine because we know how I feel about Mr. Spader. And, oh, good golly gravy. Where's the yarn ball? Okay, yeah, Maggie got a hold of the yarn. Okay, so it is living in this cute bag, you guys. Oh my God, it's called Birdwatching, and it has birds on it, right? So and then it gives you a letter and it tells you what it is. So like there is a duck, there's an eagle, there's a cardinal, there's a blackbird. It's so cute. And you guys, I got this. There was a podcast I listened to, not vegan, don't come at me. I love it. It's called The Fat Squirrel Speaks. And I don't know what it is about the woman who does this podcast, but like, I feel such an affinity to her. She is goofy in a clean way. So I would be goofy in a kind of not clean way, I guess what I would say. But she also is, I feel like she might be like me, where she is prone to weird accidents. Like just, yeah. Because she told a story about falling down in a parking lot in front of people. And anyway, in my soul, I was like, girl, you and me are like, I got you. I got your back. So anyway, Fat Squirrel Speaks. The quality on this is incredible. I love it. There aren't any pockets, which I'm totally fine with. And this is the sweater size bag. She does make a smaller bag. And then I think she makes, maybe there's only 2 sizes, but if you watch her podcast, if she's getting ready to launch a bag series, she'll tell you on the podcast. I really, I watch a lot of stuff, obviously on YouTube. I watch a lot of obviously non-vegan things because there are way more podcasts that aren't vegan than there are ones that are. So I like to support people who I feel like genuinely, regardless of the choices that they're making that maybe aren't choices that I would make, are creative, are caring, are, putting positive vibes out there in a time where we need them. So, you do you, but that's where that's at. So that's where my sweater is living, and that yarn just went flying. And you know what? I don't care because I've got Maggie. Hang on a second. Maggie just hopped in my lap. Hi, girl. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to the podcast? Hi, Maggie. Are you tired? You look very tired and crabby. I don't know why she'd be crabby. She's slept all day. My nose itches. Oh my gosh. Okay, so is that all I've been knitting on? I think so. Okay, so in the past 2 weeks, that's pretty much where we're at. It's been pretty, I gotta say, it's been a little bit nutty over here. So I'm just glad to be able to do what I'm doing. Where do we go to next, people? Because there's just a lot on my desk. Well, okay, let's talk about the fact that I had set some goals for myself. And in terms of accountability, I have completely missed the mark. I should have by now had my Garfunkel Cowl, done because that was an April project, and my spring-bound mitts. Garfunkel picture will be here. Designer name will be down there. The mitts, the spring-bound mitts, picture, name. I just didn't get to them, right? So here's the deal. It is May something, May 7th, maybe, I think. And we are having, and by we, I mean the vegan knitting and crocheting group on Ravelry. There is going to be a spectacular knit along in June, which I invite you to. I don't care what you knit, but it needs to be 80s inspired. And I'm going to leave it there. We are bringing back the 80s, people. But anyway, I'll get into that in a minute. So between now and the beginning of that cast on, I would like to be working on something, right? Something. So what I'm going to do in Sheepless Needles fashion, I am going to take my list of 6. Okay. What I love about this is, okay, you guys, I needed to order new running shoes. I needed to size my feet, and you have to draw your feet. So those are my feet. Okay. So anyway, I wrote down 6 projects, and you'll see it's Garfunkel, the spring-bound mitts, the tea leaf shawl by Mandy B that's been sitting on top of a yarn bowl for months, the Dustland sweater, which was an upcoming project, the Witching Hour sweater, upcoming project. And then I have for number 6, unknown and game related. And what I mean by that is I don't know what I'm going to knit, but it's going to be either video game or board game related. This Bubbles is making me burp. I'm a fucking disaster. Oh my God, you guys. There are some great projects, but it doesn't need to be specific right now because all we're going to do is I'm going to pull out a D6 and we're going to roll, and whatever I get is going to be what I work on in the interim and possibly as the companion project to the 80s project in June, right? So I have my Wormwood. Oh my God. Dice. And where's my D6? These are blue sandstone. I don't know if the light's going to pick up the glitter in these. I love these dice. I love them. Ooh, shiitake. Sorry, Steve. There we go. Can you see the blue? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let's... Maggie, please don't eat all that yarn. That's like tinsel at Christmas. Not a good idea. Okay. If you're gonna hop in my, I need to roll a dice. So if you hop in my lap, it might mess things up. Okay. Okay. Decide what you're doing, girl. Okay, all right, we got number 5. We got a 5-er. US5. Oh, you guys, that would be the witching hour. I will put a picture up here and then who it's by, because I don't know. It's a great pattern. I think it's very fitting for this Halloween episode in May that I will be doing witching hour. It's my next project. It is so fitting. Okay, so we accomplished that. This is good. This is good. All right. And I already have the yarn for that. I'm going to be using Premier Cotton Sprout in Hunter Green and Black. So the background will be black and then the patterning will be the Hunter Green. I'm very excited to cast that on. And I'm also, here's the thing, Kismet, because I think it's a colorwork sweater, right? This will give me an opportunity to show you guys that I can improve skills. And if I can, so can you. So don't walk away from a brioche project. Don't walk away from color work. Listen, you're never going to get where you want to go if you don't know where you are, right? So listen to me, the philosopher. Okay, so man, they are sacked out back there. Well, we talked about it earlier, so I'll just bring it back up. The 80s are coming back, you guys. First of all of you, every single one of you who commented on last podcast, things from the 80s, inspiration from the 80s, ideas, all of that. Thank you so much. I cannot even tell you how tickled I was to read some of the comments. And one, I'm not sure who you were who called me out on forgetting about Madonna, but how did I forget about friggin' Madonna? Like, where was I? I don't know, but that's okay. Look, there's a lot about the 80s that you can forget about by accident because there's so much stuff. So we're going to do this, the knit along in the month of June. I'm assuming we'll probably go 6 to 8 weeks with this. So mid-July, end July would be the end date. Obviously, we know I'm not a fast knitter, so please don't worry about picking a project that is going to go on in perpetuity because it is what it is. So I am having trouble. I'd showed you the book from Knitting Wildlife, and there's the Badgers and Wildflower sweater that I was going to knit. But the reality is the amount of money I would need to pay to get all the yarn for it it doesn't make sense to me. Maggie, that is the microphone. Okay. It just doesn't make sense. So then I thought, well, let me think about like my favorite kind of movies that I remember from that time period and some iconic looks from them. And obviously, you guys, Flashdance, come on. But the other thing that popped in my head was 16 Candles. And when I started looking at photos, Molly Ringwald is wearing an off the shoulder kind of short tee. So a bunch of wonderful people sent me different patterns, and I'll kind of have Steve put them up, just kind of rolling as I'm talking about this. I haven't picked one out yet. I love them all. I may knit more than one of them depending on how fast they knit up. I did go ahead. Okay, Maggie, I got to put you down, sweetie. I got to put you down because I got to move the chair. Okay, you go. There you go. I did go ahead and do an order with, God bless America, with Lion Brand, because one of the patterns actually uses True Boo, which is, let me find it in here. Okay, True Boo is 100% rayon from bamboo. It is, I think they classify this as a sport weight, but I gotta say, it's pretty darn near, it's a light sport weight. But okay, so this is True Boo, okay? Now, I got it in, if you look at the photo of Molly Ringwald in her little t-shirt, she is, there's going to be crinkling. I'm sorry, I didn't open this. Hers is like a dark navy blue, almost black, but not. So this is True Boo Sparkle, because, come on. If you can have sparkle, why wouldn't you? Jess King, glitter is a strategy. I back you up and I support you on that. So I got this really for that particular tee. But then when I was on the side, I was like, you know, I want to try this yarn. So if I want to do it in black, I got this Mako cotton, which is, this is very hard to do when you can't read labels. And I don't know where my hold on, let me grab my glasses. Oh, Jeezy Pete's, they were far away. Okay. Oh my God, I can see. Okay, so it's 94% Mako cotton and 6% nylon. It's listed as a 4-weight. And what's weird is it looks bigger than a 4-weight to me, but I think as you hold it, the tension probably pulls it back a little bit. It's made in Italy. And you guys, this is some soft and billowy. It is like, it does remind me of Billow by Knit Picks. If you've ever used that, that's what it feels like to me. It's super soft. So I may use this for the Molly Ringwald tee, or I may use this, or I may actually knit two and have both. And then there were a couple other things I got. I went ahead and got Nubu, which is 100% lyocell. And I forget, please tell me you do this when you buy yarn and then you completely forget what you bought it for. Yep. So that's my Lion brand for the 80s project, but I am so excited for it. So I'm still picking out the patterns. We still have time. It's only May 7th. We don't cast on until June. So please join. Please, please, please. I don't care. Leg warmers, necklaces, bangles. I don't care what you do. Just let's all have fun together. Right? Okay. So in the true fashion of me ordering from Lion brand would also tell you that I probably got other things, right? Yeah, because I did. So I purchased, is this April? I don't even know what month this was for. Okay. So January, February, did I skip March? Oh, dear Lord. Okay. So Terrapin Fiberworks, I absolutely love this yarn. I've shown you, she's doing a garden club. 2 different colorways come out monthly, and then you can order them individually. You can order it as a club box that you get something extra in, or you can just order the yarn. And there's different bases. I am using her Chesapeake fingering base, which is 100% cotton. It's organic cotton. And so I did January, February. I skipped March. March was like a yellow and then a brown, which were beautiful, but just they weren't speaking to me. But April was rosemary and heirloom potatoes. So this, whoa. So you can see her label. This is rosemary. You guys, look how beautiful. And I mean, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. And then heirloom, you better get ready for heirloom potato because it's friggin' on fire. I love this. Love it. It matches my hair. What is happening? Look at that. Okay, anyway, I digress. So it also came with, okay, get this, hopefully it goes in focus. So it comes with stitch markers, right? This is rosemary. And then little cast iron skillets, you guys. I love that. I love them. So yeah, I love Terrapin Fiberworks. I will leave information in the show notes. The other, I also belong to BZY Peach Yarn Club, and this is, I think, April. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is April's. So April Showers is its name. You guys, look. You know, I am not a blue and or cream colored type of gal as I wear a cream colored sweater right now, but I really love this. I think it'll be beautiful in a shawl. So it's 100% Pima cotton. It's 437 yards, so this would be fingering weight. And let me show you her label. She does a lot of stuff on Instagram where she does like a Saturday morning, like shenanigans hangout. And she also does like new business entrepreneur business showers, kind of like baby showers, but baby showers for a new business, like to set people up with what they need, which I fully support. I can't tell you how much I respect people who work so hard to do something like this, but at the same time are working to help other people get there as well. And I respect that so much. I will always support people who are doing that. So anyway, check her out, Busy Peach, BZY Peach, and I will leave her information in the show notes as well. Okay, so I hope that's all the yarn I bought. Although, as I say that, I already know I have 2 other orders on the way. Somebody needs to put the brakes on. And I'm just saying, it's probably me. Okay. The other thing that came, well, let's just talk about mail that came. Okay. Speaking of the 80s, there is a candle company. Well, they're not about the 80s, but this candle is for me, called Burke and Hare, and I will leave them in the show notes. Now, I'm going to word to the wise. They sell out really quickly when they do new scents. But I did get a shipment. I got 3 candles. One is called 1994, which is pretty much exactly what I thought it would be. And then the other one was High Priestess, which is a patchouli, peach, and cannabis. And it totally reminds me when I was a teenager, we would drive up to Columbus, and there's a street in Columbus called High Street. And there's a bunch of there were record stores and just like all sorts of stuff up there. You just kind of hang out, right? Like little punk rock hangout. Why was I just talking about High Street? Anyway. Oh, because the candle, High Priestess, smelled like one of the record stores. Okay, so this is the other one I got. Oh my gosh. All right, it is a moody blend inspired by black eyeliner, graveyards, and bats. I love it, you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, they used to have different labels. I cannot tell you that I'm a huge fan of the lettering on this label in comparison to their older labels. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's super fun. Burke and Hare, I'll leave it in the show notes. Vegan. I think they do room sprays and perfume oils as well. Go check them out. Don't burn your house down, but go check them out. Okay, so all right, the other issue, you guys, all of my Kickstarters that I've been waiting on have started rolling in. And when I say waited on, like some of these have been in the ether for I don't even want to talk about it. So, well, I'm going to talk about it. That's ridiculous, for well over a year. Some of them are going on 2 years, and that's okay. Some of them still aren't here, but 3 of them came in the past week. So hold on. There is a theme here. Now, just, let's bring this back. Okay. I want you to picture me in like the 80s, right? Wearing all black. If I can find a picture of something, I'll put it up there. I was an unusual kid, and that's okay. We all are. But I also collected things. And one of the things I started collecting probably when I was like 15, maybe even 14. I was really young when I started collecting them, were tarot decks. And I have a full collection upstairs. If that's something you guys are interested in, like if you want me to do a literature for your kniterature video separate from a knitting one and show you, do a walkthrough of my tarot decks, I'd be happy to do that. But just let me know if that's something that would interest you. I don't know if it would or not. But I backed 2 different tarot deck projects. And the first one was called the Mann's Tarot. And what it was, the premise is, it's like, back alley. Someone who's collected various cards from different decks and built their own deck. That's the Mann Tarot. And you guys, I love it. It's probably out of order. Okay, first of all, it came in a wooden box. Can you... Oh, sorry, upside down. I clearly need to drink more alcohol because when I'm sober, I can't show you guys shit correctly. Okay. So the deck itself, and I'll just show you a little bit of it because I don't want to bore everybody who doesn't care. But basically, oh, this is going to be hard to do, so maybe I won't do it that way. But if you look at it, see how those are the backs of the cards. We're gonna fly through here. Just pulling out random Ch-ia-agos. So it's basically, it's a built deck of other decks. And the person who did this, what they did is they researched tarot decks, reached out to artists, and used public domain cards, basically, to build the deck. So the book tells you, that came with it, tells you where all the cards came from. But I love the idea of piecing together your own deck by pulling from other decks. Like, I cannot tell you how much that speaks to me. So I love that. You know, if you're someone who's like, why tarot decks? Listen, why not tarot decks? And, you know, here's the thing. Whether you believe in like fortune telling and all, however you want to say it, I think that things like tarot, if you're in the middle of something, going through the process of a reading will help you work out what you're going through. You don't really need to worry about what someone like, I don't know how to explain that, but it helps you clarify things in your head. That's all I'm saying. It's not the answer. It's the journey, right? It's you working it out. So that was deck one. Ow. Look at my look at this cute sweater, you guys. Okay, deck two was the Corrupt Tarot from Wormwood Gaming. And just so we're clear, for those of you who don't understand, this is not satanic. It is not upside down. If you're someone who believes in that, that's the inverted pentagram. That would be satanic. And by the way, people who complain about Satanism, it's still Christian. It's still part of the Christian umbrella. They still believe in the same God. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm not religious, in case you were wondering. In case you couldn't have figured that one out. Okay, so anyway, this deck is equally as beautiful. It came in a box. And let me just show you. The cards are beautiful. I don't know if this is going to read on camera. I don't know why I just started whispering. Yeah, you can kind of see it, right? But really beautiful artwork. Really beautiful. So these will be added to my collection. And again, if that is something you guys are interested in, it does come with a book if you are so inclined to read it. Oh, and it's gold foiled or silver foiled on the sides of the cards. So super stoked about both of these. And, if we need to have like an esoteric podcast, maybe we'll do that. Who cares? You know what? It's my podcast. I'll do what I want. Okay, so then, all right, that was Kickstarter. And then the third Kickstarter that came, I just feel like I'm going a mile a minute and not making any sense, was one of the board games that I backed, which was called Birdsong. Now, this is the rule book. It's not so bad. It's a book. I'm not bringing the game down here. It's a behemoth. It's not as big as Gloomhaven, but it's pretty friggin' big. All right, so then this is the adventure book, which is pretty heavy, right? Now, Steve is always in charge of the rule book, and I'm always in charge of the adventure book. So he runs the framework of the game. I run the guts of the game. That's how we do Gloomhaven. That's pretty much how we do everything. So he read through part of the rule book and was like, this is really kind of like... It's kind of like a board game with D&D elements. And essentially the reason why I backed it is, yes, it's that, but it's also, it's Gloomhaven-like, but with more D&D elements to it and different, like, I guess simpler mechanics might be the way to put that. I say that because that's the way it was described. We have not played it yet, jury out. And yeah, it's jury out. I'll let you guys know. I'm super stoked about this though. I have too many games. Again, it's that one thing. There's too many things I want to do and not enough time. There's too many things I want to knit. There's too many things I want to read. There's too many games I want to play. And there's not enough friggin' time. There's just not. And there's just not. It just sucks, you guys. I want all the time for all the hobbies, for all of us. Because you know what? When people are doing their hobbies, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, you're a happier person. Happier people don't tell women what to do with their uteruses. That's all I'm saying. Stay out of my body. Not yours, mine. Look, if you're watching this podcast, I know you're already on my side, so I don't know why I'm yelling at you because you probably feel the same way. Okay, so that was the Kickstarters, all the yarn I bought, what I'm knitting on, what I finished, which leaves us with literature for your kniterature. You guys, I am so proud of myself. I just want you to look at something. Do you notice that there's no bookmark in this? That's because your girl finished this book. You better believe I knocked this book out. This was book 2, Royal Assassin, Farseer Trilogy, Robin Hobb. You guys, hold on. I went to Amazon and I got a dryer vent cleaner, and I use the dryer vent cleaner because I'm not feeling like cleaning. So book 3 has not been started yet. I just got it. It's really weird. When I was younger, like young, like elementary school, I loved Encyclopedia Brown. I loved Shel Silverstein. I loved Nancy Drew books. I loved Little House on the Prairie. I loved Choose Your Own Adventure books. Oh my God, I loved those, right? And then when you get into school, then you're reading for education and things become very dry. They become very formulaic, sometimes biased, whatever you want to say. I don't want to say education is a bad thing because it's not, but sometimes school sucks the fun out of reading. And that's unfortunate because once I got out of college, I still read here and there, but I read so much in college that I was like, holy crap, my brain. And then I think the issue is because you're reading something for not a entertainment reason, right? It is hard to get back to lighter reading and feel like I don't know. I don't know how to explain how I feel about this. Reading for pleasure is hard to get back to when you spent a lot of time reading for education. And yes, the two, they're not mutually exclusive. They coexist, right? But, you know, there's a huge difference between reading Tale of Genji for a Japanese literature class and reading Robin Hobb, like, or reading, you know, Anne Rice. Like, those are drastically different things. But really, as I've said that, not really, because Tale of Genji is really a soap. It's a soap opera. It's just such a good book, too. But what I will say is, for me, I feel guilty reading for pleasure, I guess. Am I alone in that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But for those of you who have never read Robin Hobb's Farseer trilogy, obviously I'm not done with it. I'm only 2 books in. I've really enjoyed it. I love her character development. I love her creation of the villain who you just want to get his, right? The main character took me a little bit of time. His name is Fitz. Took me a little bit of time to know if I was going to like him or not. And there are still moments where I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about you. Like, I think there's some choices made that, you know, in the culture that we live in today, kind of sit a little bit unsteadily on my noggin. But, you know, the other thing is I always have trouble with animals in, you know, media. I can't handle a lot. And this has not been hard on me. It's been hard on me here or there, but nothing insane. He does have a relationship with a wolf called Night Eyes, who I love. And so, yeah, I would recommend it if you are somebody who, like me, I can't watch movies and films or even animated movies about animals because I just can't. I've been okay with this. So if you are somebody who is triggered or are sensitive to something like that, I think you'll be okay. I will say the first book, there is something that happens, but I will tell you, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. You don't find out until book 2, but it's not what you think. So yes, definitely recommend. So Literature for Your Niche, I will be starting this. You'll see where I'm at next podcast. All right, guys, I think I just got through everything and I have no idea how long I've been talking, but I feel like it's been 8 years. I feel like, yeah. So what are you knitting on? What are you crocheting on? What are you painting? What are you playing? What are you doing? Leave it in the comments. Let's figure out how to like all enjoy our hobbies together. So I don't believe I'm going to hype somebody who is not vegan, so don't come at me. But I'm really kind of enjoying this podcast called Nerdy Knitting. And the way I found it is technically not my fault. People who made me start watching Outlander. She did an episode of her podcast about the historical accuracy of the knitting on Outlander. And I was fascinated by it. And she did her homework, right? She came and she brought receipts and it was good. And so I started checking her out. And she also does, you know, all sorts of other podcasts about, you know, knitting with cotton, knitting with acrylic, blocking acrylic. I have not deep dove in there. I may retract everything. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying, I want to give a shout out to Nerdy Knitting. I like what she's doing. I like where her head's at. I love to see people take their hobby and just apply it in different ways. And I feel like with knitting, because it's something that you have an end product that you can either wear, gift, or use, right? To look at it historically is really, really fascinating. And the one thing she brought up, I was like, oh my God, I never thought about that. and I can't believe this never dawned on me, but she was talking about the fact that a lot of the plant-based fibers, because they biodegrade, which is a good thing, people, we lose a lot of the history of what was being used for knitting because it disintegrated essentially. And I just thought, wow. But the one thing she was talking about that really floored me is that they used a lot of cotton in terms of the days of Outlander. And I just assumed in my head, Scotland, that it would be wool. And there was wool, don't get me wrong, but she was just talking about the cotton aspect of it. And I don't know. I love stuff like that. So go check out, Not Vegan, just nerdy knitting. I'll put it in the show notes. I just love watching people who love what they do. And she is so, I love people who love what they do. The other thing that I want to say that came up on my run this morning, and I am doing a running challenge. It's an 8-week challenge. And I'm getting back into running because I had taken some time off. I'd been working, cycling and doing strength training, but I would like to try to run a half marathon in October. So we'll see where I'm at. But I had my 45-minute endurance run this morning, and I was listening to a Peloton outdoor walking thing. And the girl, Rebecca, who was doing it, made this comment. I was like, oh, I never thought about that. She said, when you're going through something, like when the shit is happening, she's like, you need to remember that you're not going through it. It is going through you. You are the constant. And I thought, holy crap, that's true. It's just a way to flip that, to realize that your strength is your strength. Who you are is who you are. And no matter what is happening, even though it feels like you are in the middle of it, you are the constant. It will not be there forever. And I just thought, it just resonated with me in the same way that it resonated that, I was reading something. It was an article about, it was about parenting, which it doesn't matter why I was reading this. But anyway, it was a girl had come home and told her mother that she had the worst day. She's bawling, like being bullied. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't I'm a liar. It wasn't an article about parenting. It was a list of advice that people's parents had given them that has stuck with them forever. Good God. Anyway, girl had come home, bawling her eyes out, getting bullied, and her mom said, well, that's good because you never have to live this day again. Never happens again. And she's right. That mom was friggin' right. So I don't know where this all came from, but that's where my head's at. Ladies, our bodies, our choice. The fact that we're having to have a conversation in 2022 about my body, my choice. We have got to be mobile. We have got to be vocal, and we have got to be active. I don't know what that looks like right now for me. I am going to check out volunteering at a local clinic to see if I can do that. I don't know if, we'll see. I'll let you know what I end up doing. I am not sitting down. I protested so much in the late 80s and the early 90s regarding women's rights. And I just cannot believe we're back here like this. I just don't even know what to say. So we got to change things. Please vote locally. That would be the other thing. Local elections matter a lot. We just had a primary, and thank God that the mayor of the city that I live in is actually running for governor, and she won the primary. So she will be running against DeWine, and obviously she will have my vote. But we cannot take this sitting down, and I will not take this sitting down. And, you know, let's leave this on a high note, though, because that's just me being poopy. Let's look at bunnies. Oh, I scooted over so far, you guys can't see them. Hang on. Oh, look, it's Nano's butt. I always tell Steve when he says something negative, dude, you gotta balance that by saying something positive. And our positive is always, without a doubt, bunny butts are the cutest butts, followed by duck butts. Fight me. So on that note, you guys, love yourselves so that you can love one another. Take care of yourself so you can take care of one another. And let's change some things. Let's do this. Let's make the world a better place. I love you guys. And I hope that we can make the world a better place. You know, one Rheingeist bubbles at a time. Again.